Hi. So I just wrote two videos to do, but uh, oh, I was driving today to the mountains, and it's funny because like one everything seems to be funny these days, right? There has to be something about all these. I don't know if they're realizations or just because I get to speak about what's happening. I get to actually be able to reflect on the moments that have been around me and that I've been engaged with. And I've been able to take a step back and look at what I'm doing. I think that's the power of having somebody in your life to be able to speak to them, to be able to like completely open up to them, to be able to share your experience with them. I don't know if this shit gets killed because people don't really like love themselves enough or like themselves enough to talk about it. Or is it TV? Or is it just the random bullshit engagements we have? Or just lack of ambition? I have no idea what it is. But I don't know. I really think that I probably like had this struggle for so long. And anytime I'm alone, I love it. Why? Because I'm always like building something. But it feels like every single time I kind of like accomplish something new. My first reaction, which is like 2 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months after kind of like establishing something new, I would always feel like I am being taken away from that point of focus. And I always find myself diving deeper into society. Like I dive deeper into myself and deeper into society and deeper in myself and deeper into society. I think that's the need that I talked about at one point. It's like, when you kind of like, when you decide on new stuff in your head, you kind of have to empty them out. And the only place that you can empty them out is you can self reflect, man. But self reflecting is not really hard more than it is. It just comes with a lot of tension. Like if you're just the whole the meditative process is like a lot of trust in yourself, a lot of just like acceptance. And I don't know if we're wired this way as human beings, or if the fact that right now the current way of the world kind of worries us, wired us in a way that doesn't allow us to find any kind of trust. Like Buddha reached enlightenment by like being completely away from everyone. And any person who has reached enlightenment since then kind of secluded themselves, reached enlightenment, and then came into society and tried to kind of like spread the word and do something like this. And enlightenment is basically the word used for when people kind of reached an understanding for what's happening around them. So it could be everything from like to the prophets, to Jesus, to all of these people kind of like spoke at a different level than us. So you have to respect how enlightened their words were and how like beautiful. Even writers, man, right? Like I finished a book yesterday called The Book of Merdad by a Lebanese author. And man, it just gave me chills. But the reason it gave me chills is because I the last decent thing that came out of this fucking country was probably 60 years ago. And what we lost culture because we basically, well, that's basically what happens. Lost. Everything around you is distracting. And so basically you're wired to kind of not actually be able to self-reflect. You're wired to not be able to kind of like build on top of anything. And as we proceed pushing forward, trying to actually like build something, you're building it on like very weak scaffolding, very weak like pillars, very weak structures. And ultimately you don't really go no anywhere because the minute you get higher, I remember that was in Duolingo. If you don't pay in Duolingo, you basically lose stars. So as you level up and you're learning better, like I was doing that in French, but the problem with that is every single day you have to go back and refix all these levels that you did simply because you didn't pay. And because you didn't pay, you can't take the one exam that like closes them all. You have to go from scratch. So you end up basically jumping barely a level once a week, because the rest of the week all you have to do is just go around and like around and just making sure you have all the stars in order for you to be able to unlock the new level. And that's basically how, when you're trying to build something with like weak scaffolding, what you do, and I'm talking about, I'm using a building as an example, but I'm talking like character, I'm talking about goals, the structures of a lifestyle. What's a lifestyle? A lifestyle is something that represents you in this world. Like I go surf, for example, I camp, I write, I study, I go drink. All these things require some form of stability and like concentrated, effortful focus for those to actually be there in order for you to kind of enjoy life in that way, in that sense. So such engagements are like on a very deep level with the world and very lightly with yourself, because like you're kind of like you're becoming easier to handle and deal with in order for the world to kind of like allow you, to give you that trust. And so self-reflection definitely is something that people need to do. But if you're only doing it on your own, you probably won't go anywhere for a long time. And they'll probably always be frustrating and disarming, man. It just kind of like puts you in a very, in an awkward place where all you can do is just look at what's going on and try to find a way to accept it and to accept that you could be more, you could do differently, you could be better. Whilst the self-reflection, and that goes back to the original conversation I started with, going, you thought I lost it. But so anytime I would actually like sit with myself and I start engaging with myself, I kind of like find myself going back into distraction, like emptying what's on my mind. And the origin of the conversation is like it's surprising or surreal or something like this. But almost everything is, if you actually just, it's not take a step back. It's don't take the step forward as fast as you would normally want to. Like for anything you want to do. It's like walking, leaving the house. Maybe walk slower leaving the house. And suddenly everything would no longer have to catch up to you, would just settle down in a certain way. So today I came to the mountains because I wanted to watch the meteor shower. November 6th, they said there's going to be one. So I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. Why not? It'll be cool. And I have some studies to do as well. I figured, man, I do them here. Why the fuck not? And the past 2 days have been like a beautiful flow of, if this is what I have to do, then from now till then, this is what I need to finish or what I would want to finish. And then everything kind of like is building on top of the other stuff, which is a good feeling. And it scares me a bit. And it's like I'm kind of feeling a bit of like watery eyed right now. But I felt that 3 times coming from like the city while I was driving. It was just like I felt like I was driving and freely jumping and kind of like enjoying, and I felt like everything is going according to plan, even though the plan was literally to just go from point A to point B, but it was planned 2 days before. So all this like sensation had made the whole world look different simply because I actually stuck to what I said I wanted to do. And I wanted to plan the month, but remember, I wanted to plan the month when I was still in the old house. Now that I moved to the new house, I kind of want to settle. I want to give myself a week for everything to kind of like sort itself out. Truthfully, man, I really want things to kind of like, I don't want to impose anything. I don't think I should at this moment because I got rid of a lot of goals and I got rid of a lot of open loops. And now I have like 3 basic things that need to be done. I need to finish my website. I need to finish my business plan. I need to finish my business analysis like course. These are the only three things that are need to be done. Everything else is just a beautiful bonus that I engage with on a daily basis. So even the work that I have to do that I get paid for is something. But like I'm doing stuff. Like today I finished a presentation for them about water and I'm looking for feedback, and it's not like I'm not doing the work. I am. It's just like kind of it's flowing in a way that works with me instead of just is forced upon me. And when everything is actually planned, it becomes a surreal sensation, such a surreal feeling. And I think being able to expose yourself like this in a self actualizing way, like this is self reflection, right? But ideally, I'd be talking to a friend. I wouldn't be talking to a camera. Ideally, I'd be talking to uh, a person of interest. Like I want to say a girlfriend, but like I'm not. I'm into women. Like a woman next to me while we're cooking dinner, or while I'm like messing with her while she's trying to read a book or something. That would be cute, right? But like ideally, if we're able to engage truthfully with how our day is going with the people that we care about in a safe, trusted situation, then we'd be able to like self reflect and self actualize without the effort. And then our change would just be a bit more harmonious simply because we're surrounded by trust and love. I mean, whoever's watching, man, thank you, because that's how I feel when I'm trying to speak about this stuff. I feel love from me towards everything, and this is basically my outlet. Uh, Thank you, I guess. I'm glad I live in a world where this is an opportunity for me to be able to like take a video, download something, and upload something, and then feel responsible for the video I took, and actually want to do a different one and think differently about the other one, and kind of allow me to kind of move forward and evolve. Sans?